Hello. All right. Hello, my loves, and welcome to the Carter Love Talk Show. After hours, it's your host, Deshae Carter. And of course, we have Ricky and Jaw here with us today. Today's episode, we're talking about, do people support you or they just watch? Before we dive into that, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you can be notified every time we post a video here on the Carter Love Network. So I'm looking at the wrong thing. There we go. Before we dive into our highs and lows, we want to know, what are you drinking? Make sure that you put that in the comment section. I am not drinking because I have to go grocery shopping after this. So I have to drive, so I will not be drinking anything. I don't even have water because I don't want to have to use the bathroom because that's a common thing. Ooh. You drinking tonight, Ja?
Tonight
I'm not.
I kept it light. I got some
I'm so
Costco
mad.
wine.
I was supposed to get something before I got home because we had just finished practice for the Miss Juneteenth pageant, and then I had to literally I got home, dropped everything off, and I started cleaning up, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta go get something to drink. And I looked at the time, and out here it ain't 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Got to like 9 o'clock to get you some good shit. If not, all you stuck with is wine. But
yeah,
I was like, it's too late. I ain't gonna make it to the store back in time.
So
I'm on.
You say you have Costco wine, Ray?
Not Costco.
You, Ricky, you say you're drinking Costco wine?
That Charlotte needs to grow up.
Callie said, we drinking this weekend,
Yes.
though. The plan is to drink this weekend. I still have to drive, but I feel like we're going to be there. I'm going to be in SAC for enough hours to where I should be able to drink good enough. You know what I'm saying? These were his comments towards Josh's statement. All right.
My bad.
You had read them already. I had put them on the screen. Ricky said we wasn't getting enough in, so he had to add. Ricky said we wasn't getting enough in, so he had to add.
My mic.
My bad. I had to switch devices real quick.
Listen, I'm hoping I don't have to crash because I have work at 8 a.m. on Monday. My goodness. So he said, no worries. I got a space for you, for y'all, if you need to crash if need be. But hopefully ain't no need be, because I have to go to work on Monday at 8 a.m. All right. So we're going to dive into our spotlight. Yes, sheesh is the word. Sheesh is the word. I need to figure out. I'm trying something new. This ain't gonna work for me. First of all, it's just not gonna work. I feel like I have to lean. I'm gonna end up having to sit on the floor soon. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Spotlight. Let me sit down because it's not. Let me get comfortable. I just can't. Okay, that's better. Okay, spotlight. The spotlight for today is the networking bar, which is from Deshae Carter Events. I've partnered with the Smudge Nail Bar in Sacramento, California, and I will be utilizing their space to do a networking bar. For a while, I have been wanting to do a networking event where I basically make the guests to one another. I've been to a lot of networking events, and it's always awkward. If they have like alcohol or they have music, like people are just like vibing to the music and sipping alcohol. They're not really networking, or they're just passing out business cards. There's no actual communication relationships being built. And we know now, especially with the market being so saturated in almost every area, relationships matter, connection matters. Me actually relating to you in some way, shape, or form matters. I can't just give you a business card and, oh yeah, we're gonna reach out. You know what I mean? You have to be memorable. Um, so at this event, basically, like I said, I'm matchmaking them to individuals, so they will be able like to meet each other and understand. I already know, like, there's no like there is still a little like chance for rejection, but it's slim because it's like I've already done the work for y'all. I already know why y'all work well together. Make it happen. Um, so that's what this event is all about. It's going to be this is the very first one. This is the first of many. This one is going to be Thursday, April 16th, 2026. This year, of course. I don't know why I'm just reading it. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you can RSVP. We're actually almost at capacity, which is exciting. So go ahead and get those registered. It's a free event. The first one is free in Sacramento. So I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, that is the networking bar. Remember the name because you're going to hear it everywhere. She said, "Play pop the balloon." That would be funny for business. Pop the balloon.
No, that would be fun.
All right, let's see. We are going to do our highs and lows. This is funny. This is my favorite thing that Callie says. Go crazy.
I thought you was talking about the sis got them thighs on tonight. I'm like, what?
Because the way he said that when I was trying to adjust in the damn seat and I couldn't get it together. That's
what the hell did I miss for a second?
That's when that comment came through. All right, so highs and lows. Make sure you guys put your highs and lows in the comment section so we can read them. We want to hear them. We want to encourage you if need be. We want to celebrate with you if you're celebrating something, or if you forget that you need to be celebrating your high or your low. So highs and lows. I can start off. Hello. The only reason why I'm saying this is because it literally just happened before. My nails is fucked up. I took my nails off myself and they look horrible and I need to re-heal them. That's my low. A high would be I'm looking forward to Easter. It's been a long time since I've actually celebrated Easter. My daughter just so happened to be in the Easter program at church. And then Callie didn't really have plans, and our kids know each other. Our kids are literally like, they're not exactly the same age, but like I think two of them are the same age. Our daughters are the same age, and our sons are like a year or two apart. And they vibe really well together. So I was like, "Hey, what you doing? Let's connect." So we're gonna connect on Easter. So we're all gonna be, chilling in Sac. We're potlucking it lightweight. He's making some dishes. I'm making some dishes. And we drinking, like he said. So I'm excited for that, especially because my kids are excited for it. As y'all know, my kids are homeschooled, and we don't really go very many places. And when we do, it's just us. So they don't get to socialize as much as I would love them to. So for them to be excited to go socialize with other kids, is exciting to see. So that is my high for the week.
Nice.
Nice. I like it.
This is the comment that came through in response to Ja.
What is that?
The world needs to see that I meet.
I was gonna make a joke but I couldn't find the joke because I don't know how it's gonna work. But if you ain't from Merced, you probably wouldn't get it anyways. It's like this butcher shop out in the middle of Buffalo. Anyways,
This is the encouragement I get from our fellow co-hosts. Show off the thigh meat.
Where is Callie at? Callie should be here.
He's every other Friday. He's every other Friday because his babies. He got to be with his baby.
Got you.
Well, I guess I'll go next. My low, I don't think I can think about this week. I guess it's a high and low. I guess I can combine both. I'm pretty sure they have this at other places, but at my job with the apartment complex that I work at, most apartment companies, people that own properties and whatnot, they have like events for their whole company where they give out awards and stuff like that. We got ours that it's like once a year they have this. So y'all either gather up at some place or y'all gather up at a sister property, blah, blah, blah. This year I didn't win an award. I thought I would because I was going pretty hard last year, literally helping out 2 properties and helping other people, training other supervisors and all this other stuff. But that was the downside. But the upside was I found out I actually was nominated. I just didn't win. But it was nice that I got nominated because I was like, dang, like I thought I didn't expect to win anything because of what I did. I should say that. But like as it was coming out and I hear them like describing, supervisor of the year and all that, and I'm like, I kind of did a lot of that this year plus more. But I mean, I'm like, it's whatever. I'm not mad because I still got my reward for doing what I did anyways. But I found out I did get nominated. I just wasn't chosen this year. Like, I guess that's the upside to it. So that's my high and low at the same time.
Nah, shout out to recognition. Like you said, it's a high and a low, but it's progress, so we'll take that.
Yeah, most definitely.
He said, Ray always trying to get on somebody. I'm going to start calling you after hours.
After our supervisor.
He said, Ray about to win Supervisor of the Year.
Hey, man, get your votes in. I don't think that I have too many lows this week. Honestly, it's been a pretty good week. I feel like it's been a productive week work-wise. I'm actually having family and friends over for Easter dinner. So getting stuff together for that on Sunday. So overall, everything is up right now. It's been a pretty productive week. Had a good interview. Made some good potential transactions. I have some real estate stuff going on. So it should be a good start to the summer, actually. So I don't have too much low this week. Everything's up.
Yes. We love to hear it. Okay. Callie, we heard your highs and lows.
Yeah, a lot over there from the peanut gallery. We need you.
You know what I'm saying? We need to hear your highs and lows before we dive into these questions. I know it's delayed, so this came in as Ray was talking about his highs and lows. He said, "Not get your votes in."
Only in America. I'm weak.
Oh my God.
I am weak. Get your man.
Lock him up.
Before I even read it.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
I clicked it because in my mind, I'm like, I just know it's going to be something positive. And then I actually read it once it was on the screen.
Callie is funny.
Oh my God. Okay, so this episode is about, do people support you or just watch? What's funny is when this topic was voted for, I went on my page and I looked at some of my most recent posts, right? And because people always talk about that, right? You get the views, but you don't get like the feedback or the comments. And I feel like, of course, it's deeper than that, but I just thought it was funny because with this topic happening, you can have like over 3,000 views on something, but then only have close to 200 likes on something. But another thing I've encountered um, is people saying, "Yeah, I see you out there doing your thing," when they see me in person. But it's like I never even knew, you know. So it's like there's so many ways that you can take this question. Um, you know, because there's also those people that, they always talk about how people are watching your stuff, but they're not your friend, or they blocked you, but they're still searching you in their search bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many ways we can take this. I want to know where you guys' mind were when it came across your screen. Do people support you or just watch you? Of course, I got some questions to narrow it down, but I just kind of want to know what was on you guys' mind. That's what was on my mind when the topic first came up.
You going, Josh?
No.
That's a nah.
You got this, brother. Your connection on fire this week. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm trying some new things out. I appreciate the acknowledgement. See, the
Yeah.
little things, the little things. For this topic, I had something I wanted to say about it. And honestly, just sitting here thinking about it a little more, I kind of want to just divert a little bit. I just feel like you said, in public, people are telling you your praises and things like that, how they support you in public, how they, see what you're doing and things like that. Um, I feel like there's always, it's just an awkward thing. I think, I don't know for what reason, it's just an awkward thing to support sometimes. It's just like everybody I ask, definitely to collaborate or to repost or like to do anything, it's always a yes. Everybody supports that way when I'm vocal about it. So it's not like people are like against me, but it just feels like for some reason it is a natural thing to not outwardly just do too much until it's brought up, I guess. I don't know. I don't know like what the psychology is behind that, but I mean, like I said, I feel like as soon as I ask and you're ready to go and you're ready to support in that way, that's kind of enough for me sometimes. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm on both sides of the fence a little bit about it now.
Yeah, as you're saying that, I think about how like sometimes asking someone to support you or it can feel like needy, but I also think about how sometimes it's like, well, I don't have to ask they don't have to ask me for support. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I don't ever have to ask you. Like I have asked you guys to share stuff, but you and John have been sharing my stuff before y'all were even co-hosts on the show. Like I never had to ask you guys to share anything. You know what I mean? Um, and so like there's also that dynamic. There's also like, well, my other friends share it, so why don't you share? Like there's like a lot of that kind of stuff. Or my other friends support me. They show up to my events, but you don't show up to my events. Like there's that too. There's like so many like, angles of it.
yeah,
But then it's also like there's also the like I feel like I'm going to be successful whether I have your support or not, but it would be nice to have your support.
so I feel like as far as accountability, I know I'm not great at calls to actions. And I'm thinking about like when I see strangers say share, repost, even when we say like, subscribe, things like that. I feel like I'm like begging a little bit. Like I don't say stuff like that. I don't have the calls to action. And
Mhm.
that's a simple enough thing for me to do to go ahead and get that rally and get people used to doing things like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm gonna take accountability for that because honestly, it feels a little weird for me to like almost beg like that, but it is a thing
Yeah.
that could be a simple thing. I can set the standard for it.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's how I felt too. But I watch my kids watch YouTubers. That's their generation, right?
Right.
It no matter what, they could be talking and I know where they'd be like, And make sure that you like, if you got this far in the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and that bell. You know what I mean? And it's so natural. Like, it don't take away from the message, but for me, it feels like it does. The reality is sometimes we don't even think about doing that stuff until they tell us to. You know, we don't even think about sharing something until it's told to share. We're told to share it, or it pops up on the screen, share. You know what I mean? That instruction. Sometimes we're just blindly watching something. Usually me, when I watch YouTube, I'm watching something that's gonna grow me in some way, shape, or form, whether it's psychology or for business, for consulting or whatever. So I'm really not thinking about like, subscribe. Most likely I've already subscribed because I don't trust getting knowledge from hella different people. But I'm like not thinking about sharing it. I'm not thinking about liking it. So when you say, hey, if this video has taught you anything, share it. I'm like, you know what? I probably should share this video.
Because now you're sitting there like, well, shit, it helped me. It might help somebody else. I'm gonna go ahead and reshare it.
Yeah, there are videos that I watch that instinctively I'm like, such and such is here. Like intuition will be like, yep, send this to such and such. But it's usually based off a conversation that I've had with that individual, and I'm like, oh, they're researching the same thing, or they're going through this thing, so they need to hear this. But you don't always know what a person's going through. So if you feel like it can help them, you should send it regardless, right? Yeah. And that's where they little directions come from. That random share if you think this is gonna help somebody. You know what I mean?
There's definitely an element of we have to train our audience and early. Like coming late in the game, it's like, why are you trying this new stuff? Like, don't be weird. Yeah. So it's like it's definitely on us a little bit. I will take that for sure.
Yeah. I'm definitely trying to do my call to actions more in my captions. Whether it's a call to action for them to engage with the brand I'm representing, or if it's a call to action for them to hire me to represent their brand. But I do feel like sometimes it takes away from the art, and it doesn't. That's me overthinking it. Sometimes I feel like it's like, yes, I did this art and I did this wonderful thing, but also I'm asking you to hire me. Like, you know what I mean?
Here for a reason. We're here for a reason, and vocalizing that shouldn't be looked at as a bad thing, a weird thing. Nothing. It's a thing.
Yes, it's just like asking for help. There's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help. And I was reading this book. I think I've mentioned it on this podcast before, that asking for help is a gift. You know what I mean? When I ask any of you guys for help, you guys are happy to advise me. Callie literally feels, actually John's the same way. They feel empowered by helping others. They feel like they're going to get blessed, and not in a like a, let me see how many people I can help so I can get blessed. Not like that, but they feel like it's a blessing to help others. And a lot of people, you know, don't realize that you help others. Also, just, it's a level of trust, right? If I'm coming to you with something that I'm going through and I'm a private person, that's like, now it's like increasing our trust between one another. You know what I mean? So that's also a gift within itself. So asking for support, asking for someone to like share a post, like a post, even support by showing up to an event, support by showing up in my life. You know what I mean? It's actually a beautiful thing, you know?
I think now that I think about it a little bit more, say I did that stuff like subconsciously, like I asked you to support, repost, whatever, and then you don't, I feel like that is counterproductive in every part of what I'm trying to build in our relationship. So it's a little bit of that probably too.
Yeah, there's for sure 100% for me. It's always fear of rejection. It's always fear of like you not following through. And honestly, I had to learn, the biggest thing that I learned, one of the biggest things that I learned is that rejection is not personal, right? So reality is I could have asked you to share something, but you're at work when I asked you to share it. So you didn't got caught up with what you actually supposed to be doing. So you forgot to share it. But in my mind, I'm like, well, he really don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? So I had to stop, like I had to start reframing my mindset when it came to that too, because I feel like I was getting caught up in like that. Some people really won't share yourself because they really don't fuck with you. But some people, it's just life life is busy. You know what I mean?
I want them to say it louder that they don't fuck with me though. I think that can help
That-
all of us. Let's just say it with your chest.
That's how I am. I'm like, tell me directly.
Though, just because they didn't do it or whatever, don't truly mean they don't fuck with you either. You know, because I know a lot of people first thought, especially I know some of my cousins first thought, like a few of my cousins are artists. They do music and they be sending me stuff all the time. And sometimes I forget to literally reshare it. Like they'll send it and I forget to reshare it. And I know this happened to me one time, a long time ago. It wasn't one of my cousins, one of my friends, though. They was doing music and I just didn't share something. They was like, hey, you really don't fuck with me. And I understand. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't share one post. Like, I'm just saying that because, don't automatically think, the worst of it. Because, sometimes I'll be surprised that I can do what I do half the time. Like you'll be texting me like, hey, I'm trying to do this. Let's get this shared, blah, blah, blah. And I like stop within 5 minutes, do what I got to do and keep it going. It's not that easy though. Sometimes it's difficult. And I was going to bring that up earlier. Like, don't also think that they don't want to help y'all out when you ask them to share some stuff. Cause maybe the way you're asking them to share it might be like, that little step. I know you'll probably write it out like, post this, put it like this, like how we was going about the intro. Like I just made it, but then you was like, but can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? I'm not saying I wasn't going to do it, but let's just say, that's the way it came off. And then in my mind, I'm like, no, now I don't even want to make the no more. Cause I got to do all this just to share it, or I got to do all this just to make it. Like sometimes people just be too lazy, and I don't blame them for it. I don't get mad about it. Like at least I know if it wasn't so hard, you probably would do it. But still, there's a piece of me that just be like, but if you fuck with me, just do it. Like just do it. Like it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, you got time to sit there and roll one up, and that take a lot longer than what I'm asking you to do right now. Just, no offense to you, Callie, but
no offense.
Like
shots fired.
And I don't like that shit.
Shots fired.
Like you got enough.
I'm talking about him specifically too.
And most of the stuff we always act like we do. That's the other killing part. We do most of the hard work. Most of us that have our own business, stuff like that. All we asking you to do, just share it. You ain't gotta like
spread the word
or comment. You ain't gotta like and share. You ain't gotta comment and share. You just gotta do one of those things, bro. I don't care. You don't even gotta do all of that. If you just go and talk about me and just be like, yo, have y'all seen my homeboys? Exactly. Or my homegirls this, or have you tasted my homeboys this, my homegirls that they be cooking, whatever it is. Like
my homeboys this.
Pause. Major pause.
Equal opportunities here, I guess.
Major pause. Major pause. Y'all some freaky ass frogs.
But
it's like word of mouth, any type of support.
That's it right there. The reality is people forget that word of mouth is the most powerful tool. That's the only reason why, not the only reason, but mainly, right? That's the main reason why social media drives businesses, because it's word of mouth. That's why influencers get paid, micro influencers, major influencers. That's why they're all getting paid, because it's word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting views, you're getting shares, you're sharing it. You have multiple platforms. You're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Like, that's why it matters. But it also matters more when you say, hey girl, like you talking to your friends, hey girl, yeah, go check out Ja's production. Like, you know what I mean? Like, go check out his TikTok. Like, you know what I mean? It means more. You're going to believe your friend more than you're going to believe the person who's talking about it online, because the reality is a lot of us get paid. So it's like, are they getting paid to say this, or do they really care? You know what I'm saying? So people just kind of forget that a share, like one of you guys sharing something is going to mean more than a stranger sharing something, only because you guys actually know me, so you can actually vouch for me. So when someone says, hey, like, are her oils really good? Like,
a follow up, anything.
Yeah, then you can literally be like, yeah, I had it, I use it in my beard, you know what I mean? So I think people also forget how they don't realize how powerful their voice is. I feel like that's a big thing. We don't realize how powerful our voice is. We don't realize how much impact we make in each other's lives. You know what I mean? And I think that that's something that's so special about this group, is that we find times to say that to one another. But a lot of people aren't doing that in their friendships. You know what I mean? They're not saying, yeah, when you said that thing, it was really impactful, or when you show up for me weekly, when we have our weekly text messages, like that really means something to me. A lot of people aren't doing those check-ins. And so they don't realize how important a share from them means to us. Um, and they don't realize that that shows us that they see us, they see our hustle, they see our drive, they see what we're doing, and they believe in us too. That's I think that's another thing, is it's comforting. Support from friends and family is comforting. It's like, oh, you got my back too. You know what I mean? Um,
It's the reassurance for sure. That
yes.
extra little jolt to your battery pack.
Yes, yes. I want to circle back to a comment that Callie had made before he
Which
started.
one? Which
Before
one?
he started, yeah, before he started mouthing off.
Yeah,
again.
because bro, me and him was about to fight, and that's why I was
I didn't even
laughing.
get that far. I said,
When
I'm
you
not gonna
was
go there.
talking, I was laughing. I'm like, bro, calm your ass down, dog. I gotta.
So he said, I also feel like support isn't mandatory from an entitlement standpoint, but it does show who really rocks with you, because it costs nothing to support someone nowadays. And I watched this video on TikTok, and it was talking about that. Like, your friend don't gotta do nothing for you, or your friend may not even use that product, so they don't understand support, like sharing it or whatever, right? And I also feel that too. I know for me, I did feel very entitled to support from friends and families and stuff. And I did have to realize I don't want support out of obligation. I don't want you to support me just because we're friends. I want you to support me because you see the problem that I'm solving and how it really helps individuals. I want you to support me because you see me and what I'm doing. But also, if you really think about that, it's like, if you my friend and you don't see me, what we doing? Like, so at the same time, like, you should be supporting me.
There's definitely levels to friendship. That's what I'm learning more and more as I age. Like, that's
Yeah,
every part of life. There's levels to everything in
it
life.
hurts
So
down here.
Yeah, I will say what he I want to touch on. My bad. He said it also mandatory. But it does show who really rock with you. Yeah, I agree with that, because I'm not gonna lie. When I started TikTok, it was like I didn't expect certain people to really share, because I didn't think anybody would get most of my humor, especially because when I first started, all my humor was based on superhero stuff, but it's like jokes within jokes. So like, if you read comics or watch any of the movies, you understood the joke, but also I made a joke that anybody could get. I just used superheroes in those spots, which it was all still funny, or the sounds from movies or whatever it was. But like, in the beginning, it was killing me, because like, I would get all these views on there, and I got all these. I like, certain people tell me, "Oh, your video's funny as hell." Blah blah blah. I seen them. I'm like, why didn't you share them? Like, all you got to do is repost that thing, dog. And then like, but then when I got, I got a few that would really like blow up. Like, they went viral. Like, they just scrolling and didn't even know I was on TikTok. And they like, is that Jaleel? Like, what? And then they share it that one time, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, like, and that's why I had this thought, like, are you just supporting me, or are you really just watching and just waiting, and you trying to ride the coattails and be like, oh, I know who that is. That's that. I know who that is right there. Like, bro, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do shit like that. Like, I appreciate the people who really share it, because I knew every time I dropped a video, I knew 8 people for sure that was always going to share it. And they don't even care if it was funny or not. They just shared it because they're like, somebody going to find this funny.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to laugh at this. He's going to get whatever recognition. I'm going to always share it. They didn't even care if it was just a post talking about me getting like 10K at the time when I was going up the ladder. Like, that, it really shows who rocks with you. But sometimes I don't take that as, if you share it, you rock with me. Because some people just share it just because they want to be a part of this little trend, because they see it's up there and they like, oh, this is my homeboy too. So I'm just going to share it, make it seem like I'm cool or whatever. It ain't really, for you.
Yeah.
I think another layer to it is just emotional intelligence. Like people probably aren't aware like of their power, of their disposition, of what they're actually showing you. Like they just think, oh, maybe somebody such and such won't notice, or
Mm-hmm.
I can come back around later, it'll be fine. Like, nah, bro, I'm clocking it off. Like I already know who was there from day one. I already know who's pulling it up when it seems like it's trendy, the trendy thing to do.
But do you? It's so funny. Okay, so two situations. One time I ended up befriending one of my followers on TikTok, and I went on. So when I first started on TikTok, I hashtagged Deshae Carter. So now when you search hashtag Deshae Carter, a lot of like my older videos pop up, and I seen that he had been liking my stuff since way back then. I didn't realize he was following me right till more recent, like last year, maybe year
Mm.
last, right? Then there's a friend of mine. We've gotten close. She's actually been on the show. I call her the Northern Star. Her name is Nikki. And she hasn't been on this show yet, but she's been on the Carter Love Talk show. And we were talking, and I was telling her how I was gonna get back into Beachbody. And she was like, yeah, girl, when you were doing your Beachbody, you were motivating me. And it was so powerful to see you every day. And I didn't even know she was watching me back then. Like, there was no conversation. I had no idea that she was showing me support back then. And so sometimes there's people's lives that we're touching that we don't even realize. And I feel like that's where the power of self-support comes. Because if we don't keep going, you know what I mean? If we don't self-motivate ourselves and we're trying to rely on this support that is not coming our way, like there's people who are silently supporting us. Oh my God, that reminded me of this scene. There was this scene, it was on My Hero Academia, and the
Spoilers.
heroes were fighting. It was like one of like the big fights, everybody's about to die. The world's about to end. But like there were people who were watching it around the world and they were like, yes, you have to win, you have to win. So they were basically showing how that energy was fueling the heroes. And I feel like there's those unknown people out there supporting us that in some way, shape, or form are pushing us through. But also we have to have that support within ourselves. One of my most recent guests, he owns his own makeup company, makeup and nails, and no, not nails, sorry, nail polish, sorry. And when I interviewed him, he was talking about how I motivate him, and I'm like, I ain't never knew this, like, you know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of things that go unspoken. And I think that it's so powerful when we find these things out because I think that they come when we need them the most. Because I post my little oil stuff all the time, you know what I mean? I did the photo shoot. My Instagram is looking very professional, you know what I'm saying? And I'm obsessed with it. But it hasn't yet increased sales. The following isn't where it's at, and these are just facts. This is not complaints because I know it's a progress, right? But not knowing there's still people out there who are rocking with me, who are inspired by what I'm doing. He literally was like, every time you post about your oils, I'm like, oh shit, I need to post about my nail polish. I need to do a photo shoot. You know what I mean? And it's powerful because it's someone who's been in the game way longer than me. So to be able to have an impact on different people without even realizing it, I think is amazing. But I think it's even more amazing that we push ourselves through and to even have that impact.
Yeah, I wanted to say about the comments, I guess, silent supporters. I think we definitely need the balance of the silent ones are the ones that probably keep us in business, honestly. And then the ones that are vocal and out loud, I think that's just for the energy purpose of things. That's what
Yeah.
has us get up with a renewed energy of, okay, that's what I'm doing it for. I see it, I feel it. Now it's time to go harder.
Yeah.
We definitely need both.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because like I said, when they do finally become vocal, it's like, ooh, I needed that. That was the right time, you know? I'm trying to pull up the questions. I'm not playing on my phone. I got the questions on here. I want to see if we've already naturally answer some of them. We all know, we know already, as Nala would say. We know already. Oh, this is a good question though. What does real support look like to you beyond social media? We can't hear you. Is it me?
I realize that.
I'm gonna put it on the what you call it.
Nah, you good. No, I said I'll go. But to me, because again, remember y'all that's watching, this is opinionated, so don't think what I'm saying is what support is supposed to be. To me, support to me are not just the people that encourage you, and you know, um, share your stuff, all that stuff. Support to me is when people actually criticize me, but also give me ideas with stuff. Or they send me like other people's stuff. Like I got my homeboy, my best friend that live out here with me. Not here, but he lived in Charlotte. When I first started doing TikToks, bro would literally send me random reels that he saw and be like, I think you could do this better. Like, I bet you could do this better. Like, he'll do stuff like that. And to me, that's kind of supportive because it's like, he's like, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Or he'll give me little ideas. Hello. He'll give me little ideas here and there and stuff like that. But there's the people that like when I do certain things on my videos, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Everybody know it. Like I will spend almost a full day making like a 3-second video on TikTok because I want to make sure the edit's right and everything. If somebody comes to me and be like, you know, if it's that same person most of the time, and they're like, oh, yo, you know, I just saw, you know, did you know this was in there, blah, blah, blah. Like they give me little details of where it looked like it probably wouldn't be. Like that's supportive to me because like you point out some of the little flaws and it's helping me get better at my craft, whatever it is. Even with music, like every time I'm DJing, I want to have fun. I just did it last weekend for my cousin's baby shower, and I was just messing around with house music and some other songs like 80s pop music and all that. And my half my family from here, they're from Jersey, my stepdad's family. And so when they heard me mixing, they were like, oh, I like that, nephew, but you gotta, or hey cousin, you probably gotta throw this song in there, blah blah blah, this and that. Like that's my support right there. When I'm getting that type of help, that type of feedback, that's what I feel like is support. And then also, you know, the unsung heroes, like he said, the silent, I call them silent, but I still feel like they're kind of loud. They share this stuff and they do this stuff without me telling them. Yeah. Like they'll sometimes share some of my old videos and I'll be like, somebody just share me just because they thought it was funny or they want me to get back into it, whatever it is. Like that's support to me anyways.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple of things I'm redefining right now because I was taught it meant one thing. I'm finding out for me as an individual, it doesn't mean that. So I remember, my God, maybe I do need some water. I remember feeling like I didn't have support. I remember feeling like I didn't have community when people were showing up in front of me, like, hey girl, like, you know what I mean? And so I've had to, like I said, redefine that for me. And so I would say for me, support beyond social media would be check-ins. Like, hey girl, I ain't heard from you in a while. Like me and John, we'd be like, you too far down in my text list. Like, what's going on?
That's hilarious. One day I was just chilling at work and all I saw was you way too far down on the list. I was like, what the hell? She was like, you're down too far at the bottom of the text list. What's going on? We got to bring you back up. Yeah.
Usually he's at the, you know, the cast is at the top. There's probably like 2 other people that are at the top. Like literally, that's usually what stays on my text list. I have not pinned y'all because I have a bad history of pinning people.
Yeah, I hate pinning. I don't pin nobody. Nobody.
But yeah, so I feel like check-ins are very important to me. I feel like So beyond social media, right? So I think the check-ins, I think also I feel like remembering things. I've had to learn that something that may be important for me to want others to remember, it may not be important to them. But when they remember something that happened in our conversation, or they be like, oh, how did that thing go? Or you know what I mean? I feel like that is a support that I didn't know I needed. Um, it's a beautiful thing. It makes me feel seen. Um, so I feel like for me, the greatest thing would be that the the support in within, what would that be? Effective communication, actually hearing, actually having a connection, and like checking in on one another. Even if it's like, even like with me and Ray, like I might not text him back for 2 days, and then he'll text me, "Hey, how you doing?" You know what I mean? Or I'll respond 2 days later to the same message as if the conversation never stopped. Like, you know what I mean? Like those kinds of things, I feel like for me feel like support, because it feels like, you know how like people how family, like how they say family, because I have not experienced this too much myself, but you know how they say family, like they can be apart for so long and then they come back like nothing ever happened. I feel like for me, like those, like I said, that's what those check-ins feel like. They feel warm, they feel connection, they feel like, oh, you really rocking with me. You know that my baby just had a birthday. You told my baby happy birthday, or you know that, I just had a party and I was fucked up on Snapchat. No, just kidding. But I think being seen for who I am and being accepted for who I am, that feels like support to me. That's what support looks like to me. Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Callie was saying that
I'm
basically
like,
he's exiting the building because he's gonna take the babies to the
I'm
movie.
about to say it got quiet real bad. What happened?
I was done talking, but I did stop to see if he was responding. But he said, "Y'all hold it down." This is the way I read it. Hold it down. That's how I read it.
You see the first part.
All right, there's the question. So you, Ricky Ray.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Um, I guess similar to what you were saying, just the little things about, even if you're not able to like show up for an event or like just anything, but the follow up and the acknowledgement that it's in your brain somewhere. I know for myself personally, I have a whole list of things and the list continues to grow. So even if you follow back and is like, yeah, how did it go? Checking in, or sorry I missed it, or anything like that, that's enough to grow on for me. So any little thing is a stepping stone to build up towards what I'm trying to accomplish it eventually.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like that consistency, that persistence, like the, what is it called? The healthy habits or patterns, healthy patterns. That's what it is. Um, I feel like that's how all of us got to where we are right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like with me and Jaw, it was like random conversations on social media. Then it was like check-ins. Then it was like, hey, can you read this script for me real quick? You know what I mean? And then it just kind of built from there. We were building these healthy habits of communication, of connection, bonding off of different things. Same thing with you. Um, it was like, first it was like the random little messages, and then it was like the, hey, like, you want to come on the show? And it just kind of grew from there. And I feel like those are powerful forms of support, because sometimes I just feel like I'm just in my own world posting stuff and nobody sees me. You know what I mean? I don't see nobody tangible sees me, right? But I feel like um in the connections that I've made with all of you guys as all of the co-hosts, I feel like it made what I do more real. like, oh, I am actually, people do actually see me. And I feel like that's a support that is powerful. But again, I wasn't able to see that support until not recently, like, like last year, because in my mind, support looked like it was in person. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was always taught, people showing up for you in your life. Like, do you have any in real life friends? No, all my friends are virtual. Leave me the fuck alone. They live online. We hang out on Friday nights. Leave me alone.
Let me laugh at that. That sounded so sad.
That's a little
We're
funny.
going out for
I got no
drinks.
friends.
Where you going? To my house. No, I'm just kidding.
You said no.
Oh my god. I have
Hey,
friends,
man.
guys. Damn.
Different strokes.
I have friends. Or whatever.
Definitely.
You said you don't believe me.
No, he said different strokes. I said definitely.
No. Oh, you said definitely. I thought you said don't believe you. That's what I had heard.
Different strokes for different folks, man.
Mm-hmm.
So the other question that popped up is, I'm gonna type it, but I'm gonna say it out loud because I don't want y'all to just stare at me while I type. Have you ever realized someone was watching you but not truly supporting you? And the second question to that is, what gave it away?
You want to go right here?
Yeah, I'll go. I just had to look at things from a different mindset, I guess. I didn't really care about views or clicks or anything until I had a business page. And then I started to pay attention a little more. And then I made another business page, and then you can see who follows. Like, I only have two business pages. Like, you can see who follows what. So the little things, I mean, they're in your face. So the numbers are going to be the numbers. And some of those things you can't even avoid the situation of. It's a little thing to just click a button real quick and then you'll be there along for the ride. But I don't take it personal. I just acknowledge that it's gonna be that, and a lot of entrepreneurship or failures or like whatever you got going through or whatever you're going through, it's gonna be a lot of support from outside, and that's just the name of the game. It's gonna be a lot of strangers. It's gonna be a lot of people with your ideas or similar ideas that you didn't know had your ideas. That's gonna be where you take off from. So it is what it is. You just can't take it personal and let it stop the show for sure.
Yeah, agreed. I think mine was more again, I don't really care if people had. I'm at a state in my life now. I don't care if people share it or not. It'd be nice, but if you don't, you don't. But I think when I realized like people were just watching and they weren't supporting was when I started to see people sharing like the stuff that I was doing, but not my stuff, somebody else. And I was just like, what? And then what made it worse, I'm like, this shit sucks. I'm like, what? But you would support them, but won't support me. But we supposed to be. I'm like, you know what? It's whatever. I wish nothing but success for the other person that you're sharing for. I can't be too mad about it. But it sucked because I was like, bro, because it happened with a few people. And I'm just like, it's whatever. It's whatever because I'm like, it's other people out here that's going to share my stuff that probably got a lot more followers, a lot more interaction or traction than you do. So I ain't got to worry about it. You had that, enjoy it. I'm glad at least you supporting somebody. Just wish it was me, but hey, it is what it is. I guess I got to get that. But
it's fun. Yeah, when I was doing my custom t-shirt business, that's where Carter Love actually was birthed from. But when I was doing that, that's how I felt. And that's literally where the I'm not for everyone came from, because it helped me to get past that. Because everyone's not going to support you. Everyone's not going to share your stuff. Everyone's not going to even connect to the message that you are bringing with whatever you're posting. And that's where that came from for me. I feel like, again, a lot there are people who have supported me, and I felt like they were just watching because they weren't consistently supporting me. And I feel like they were close friends, and so they should have been supported. In my mind at that time, I felt like they should have supported me more than the people who were supporting me because they were my close friend. But I also learned that, we talked about it already, no one's required to support you. But I also learned that I lost my train of thought. That's what I learned. That's what your 30s brings you, a whole string of losing your train of thought.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It'll come back to me or it won't. But I do have another question that I was gonna go into, but I'm like, that wasn't where my mind was going though. Trying to think what it was though. It was something about the other people supporting me, but who knows? It'll come back or it won't. The question is, do you know people?
I feel like you mistyped that. Kind of
I
weird.
do see that.
I'm so over here like, when you see them pictures.
Because I was listening to you guys, but I also wanted to have the question already ready.
It looked like one of them. Did you ever wake up on a Sunday morning but walk your fish
Right?
and forgot to drop your dog because it's Tuesday and she flipped out? Like, what the hell is she talking about?
I got the idea of what the gist of the question was.
I think you meant, do you know people who know
how to support you, or is it something you need to teach?
And I think it literally is what we touched on a little bit earlier. I think the teaching is like an important part of it. I think that does matter actually.
But I also think it's a little bit of both too, because like you got your peoples that's been around you. Like, let's say we all been friends for about 10 years. Like, y'all know how to support me. Don't sit here and act like you don't. And then, or if I come up to you and be like, why you ain't been showing? Why ain't you been helped? Like, I don't know how to. What? We've been knowing each other since like grade school. Like, come on now, you can't tell me you don't know how. But also, it also depends, I guess, on where you at or what you're doing and what type of you probably do need to express what type of support you need. Because some people won't know. They probably don't know what to do, which is why they're not supporting you. They just sitting there like, well, I don't know really what to, like, how to go about this. Maybe they think in their mind, well, what if I do this and this ain't what I'm supposed to do because of blah, 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 and I mess everything up. I'm just not going to do nothing, but I'm going to still do the minimum stuff, I guess, whatever that is, which might be something we can't even see. And so the whole time we think, so-and-so ain't supporting me. The whole time they're like, I want to support, but how? Like how?
Yeah.
So, that's why everybody drops that whole. That's why nowadays you watch a video, click, like, subscribe, or every time somebody, like posting food plates or something or blah, 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 they always put in the description how you can get other people to know about it and stuff like that. Cause they try to make it easier for people.
Yeah.
But,
I think that I do feel like, okay, so me personally, I love, like I said, I love when a person knows me, right? You know how they say women want men to be mind readers? But it's not like that for real. It's like for me, I get to know people. What?
Hold on, why you laugh at that? I don't think it's funny.
Because it's funny.
He said, "Don't laugh at that."
Because someone brought that up to me recently.
He said, "Shit ain't sweet around here. Don't laugh at that."
But for me, it's not a mind reader thing. It's I want you to know me, right? But the reality is, everyone is not gonna know you that deeply. But also, we all perceive things so differently. Like, you may be showing up for me and you think you're showing up for me, but the way you're showing up for me, I'm not receiving it. So I'm like, they really don't fuck with me like I thought they did. You know what I mean? And so I do think to some degree it does need to be taught. But I do feel like some people don't do anything and they say they're supporting, and it's like, but how? Like, you know what I mean? If the conversation doesn't happen, I feel like you don't understand. It's like love languages, right? I don't understand how you support. So maybe we have to talk about what you define as support and how what I define as support and what I actually receive versus what you're actually putting out. But I think that sometimes it's not that deep either. Like, you know what I mean? It can be that deep, but I don't think it's always that deep because it's not that hard to show support. But like I said, for me personally, I've had to realize that I've been for myself misdefining support. You know what I mean? Um, Making sure that like it has to be this in my face thing, or it has to be like you sharing every fucking thing I post, or you know what I mean? Making sure you know that it's when you comment, you should probably use at least 3 words, and emojis don't technically count to the algorithm as support, like as a comment. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot, like to try to cram down people's throats to get them to support you. You know what I mean? Um, so I feel like gratitude. I feel like being grateful that people are trying to support you in their own way, depending upon again what it is. Speaking of social media, they're trying to support you however they think it works, right? In your life, I do feel like it's important to teach people how to support you because if they have good intentions, but it's actually destructive, are they actually helping? You know what I mean? So I think that everything has levels, everything has categories. When it comes to um social media, I don't think a lot of teaching has to go into it. I think effort should be acknowledged and we should be grateful for the effort because we're not putting it all on their back like, oh, share this post, I'm going to get hundreds of dollars, like, you know what I mean? But when it comes to life, support is incredibly important because it impacts so much. If I didn't hear from you guys in weeks, I'm gonna be like, what happened? You know what I mean? I'm gonna be crying, okay? That impacts me in a different way than if y'all don't share my posts. You know what I mean? So I think that each thing kind of takes a different route, and each person takes a different route. Because some people are more intuitive, more emotionally intelligent to recognize what kind of support a person needs, and some people are very oblivious and they don't know, hey, if I'm crying, don't hug me. I don't like that shit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think the love language analogy is kind of perfect for this. Like, I mean, you don't want to like spoon feed, like, I need you to do this exactly, but you can kind of put out there into the universe. Like, if you've never put it into the universe, how can they know? You can put it into the universe what's actually beneficial, what I can actually utilize on a regular basis. Like if I don't tell you, I can't assume, like you said, a mind reader. I can't assume you're supposed to know. So there's a little balancing act there for sure. But like you said, with the love languages, a lot of similarities there. Like we just have to get on the same page of what makes sense. You think you're supporting it wholeheartedly, but like I said in the comments, it's not necessarily something I can use for my growth, like the algorithm, things like that, that'll actually matter to this platform. But yeah, I mean, you live and you learn, and like, you take all the support you can and try to flip it into what you need it to do. But it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah, I agree. So there's this question that we touched on, but I want to look at it slightly different if my brain doesn't lose its thoughts. Um, Let me reread it before I put it up on here and it's wrong. So the question is, can someone support you silently or does it require visible action? Now, we've already talked about how there are those silent supporters, but when I'm asking this question, I'm thinking of people who are in your life, right? Not virtual. I mean, I can't say not virtual because y'all virtual, but I mean like not followers and like that kind of thing. I mean like say you're in a relationship and you want your partner to support you, right? Can they support you silently, or does it have to be a visual action? Do they have to show up at every event? Do they have to share your post? Do they, you know what I mean? Like, what would support look like? I mean, is for you guys individually, basically.
I got a quick response for that one. Rubbing my back and saying good job, baby, don't go as far as showing up to an events or putting a flyer in your team email, things like that. I can see how it can be seen that way, but for me, like this is not really actually helping. So I think that is definitely a fine line for sure, but there's tangible things that can be done, like silently in the background where people don't know that it's you, maybe, but like I need you to do something specific to the business,
Yeah,
especially if you're my partner.
yeah, because it's like it also sucks because that also looks like, why are you watching me struggle? Like, help me out. Like, you supposed to be helping me. What's going on?
Yeah.
But also, it also depends on what field you really working in too. They can't, your significant others can't help with everything. But also it also depends on if they even support not you, but the thing that you do, if that makes sense. Like, maybe that's just something they don't care about, but it's something I don't know how to make that make sense.
No, I get what you're saying, because that was what I was gonna say. Some people feel like, okay, if I have this career, say I have this career in psychology, and my partner has their own business, I'm not expecting him to be in my career. This is things that, scenarios that I've heard. So I'm not expecting him to be in my mix. So why should I be in his mix, right?
But even with that example right there, psychology is not necessary unless you're in need of clients, which is a specific thing, but it's not necessarily something that you need growth in. So
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't.
mean, there is support that you would need because of all the mental toll.
Right. And that's the rubbing back,
Shut up!
massage,
I was about
bubble
to
bath.
say, you need more than
No,
a rub in the
I'm
back.
saying no, but I'm saying that
Yeah,
can
no, I got
actually
what
be
you're saying.
helpful in those
Hey,
instances.
here's a juice box. Good job. Like, that's a
Like I'm
Stop
saying to
it.
take your mind off. I'm saying I'm
Yeah,
being serious about it. I'm not
no,
really
I
joking
know. I
about
get
it.
what you're
Yeah. No,
saying.
I get you.
Like in a high stress situation, if you have a high stress job, then that type of thing will go further than a
Yeah,
resharing of a post.
yeah. No, I feel that. I also think, to me, if it's important to my partner, it's important to me. Even if I don't understand it, teach me, so next time when you ask me, I'm gonna understand it, right?
Right.
I feel like it may not be my strong area, but there are some areas that I'm strong in that can help you. So
Right.
give me those tasks. Um, I don't feel like I need to be all up deep up in your business, but I feel like if I'm rocking with you, I'm rocking with you on every
Yeah.
aspect.
It's not
And
my lane, but we're a team.
I
Yeah.
wish my parents was in here. I think my mom talked about this before, but my mom, for those of y'all who've seen her interview on here, she does yoni steaming. That's mostly catered to the women. That's their whole thing. But there's also something for the men that she
It's
knows about
coming
too.
about.
But anyways,
Just kidding.
what surprised me, and this is that support that you talking about that I think is needed. My mom, she used to go to a lot of vendor events, and she used to do like events where she's just talking to women, teaching them and all this stuff. And I remember, I think it was the first year I moved down here, something had happened where my mom was like either running behind on setting up or something. But this is the support my stepdad had. He doesn't, that ain't got nothing to do with him. He don't care nothing about it. But he been so in there with my mom. He's with her so much. This dude taught the whole class for her. He told them everything, what they can get, what they gonna get, this and that. And from his point of view, like, I don't want to talk about this. But on the outside looking in, for one, the women probably looking like, damn, I need him. Like, he know exactly what his wife doing, and she ain't got to say nothing. But that's some support right there. He don't care about it, but it's his wife thing. He gonna help her out, and even if he got to, he'll learn about it. So when she down and out and she can't do her job, but it still needs to keep running, bruh can do, because he already does the back end of it. He creates the thrones. and all this other stuff. But and then he already know the front end, like, yeah, so you're gonna have to sit on the pot for about 30 minutes, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's real, that's some support right there. And that's also just, for the people who think I don't know nothing about it, so I ain't about to help. Like, you don't really gotta know nothing, but just you being there, that's still supporting somewhat. And then you learning it and picking it up, you're gonna get to a point to where you're gonna want to support just because.
Yeah.
Just because.
I also feel like there's something so beautiful about seeing a person in their element. Mm-hmm. There's something beautiful about knowing every aspect of your partner, which is why I said when I don't want you to be a mind reader, but I want you to know me, right? Because the way I am here is cool, right? But if you see me at a networking event, my vibe is slightly different. You know what I mean? So watching your partner work and getting to know that version of them is powerful. Seeing them, like, you're working with them, building this thing, and then you actually see it blossom and you see their growth and that change and the confidence that comes from that. It's a beautiful thing. So why wouldn't I want to be a part of that? You know what I mean? Right. Why wouldn't I want to be in that growth? And like you said, to say it's not my lane or I don't know nothing about that, the reality is all you have to do is listen and observe your partner.
Try. Like, you can try. It's not the first time, it's not the last time.
And it's not like they're asking, like, go learn all this and be just like me. Like, it just helpful. Like, and this is a good example too, right here, because we're right here. When you first told me to host the show, I'm like, oh my God. I'm watching, like, in the middle of the show. If you go back and look, you might see me looking right before we get to the end. I'm going to look at your older videos because I'm like, she says the mantra this way at the end. I need to say it exactly like her. I cannot end it like this because I'm like, I'm trying to be supportive. Funny. I'm like, I'm not trying to mess this up. But then I was like, you can do it your own style. Just make sure it's what she does because she knows you're helping out. She's not going to sit there and be like, you didn't say that shit right. You're fired. Like, like, that's not happening. But, that might get people too when it comes to support, and they might get scared. Like, well, they do this a certain way, and I don't want to mess up. Don't be afraid. You already trying and doing it in the first place. That's big right there as it is.
Yeah, it's a power. The thing is, I feel like when someone trusts us, sometimes we clinch up. Like they're trusting me with this. This is their baby. And so we clinch up and we forget who the fuck we are. Because the reality is they trusted you for who you are.
You got chosen. Exactly.
Of them. So I think I do it myself. I'm not even gonna lie. So before I started this podcast, I was podcasting with a friend of mine, and his podcast name is so clever and it has slipped my mind. It's gonna come back to me though. And he wanted me to host, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know because you're so smooth with it." Damn, what is his podcast called? I'm about to look it up real quick.
Didn't you do this? This was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
I think it was last year.
It was right. It was either in the middle of you doing your own show.
So his podcast is called I Don't Fucking Know. Right? But he's so good at blending it in. So he'll be like, today we're talking about, I don't fucking know why such and such, such and such. And then like, we'll be having a conversation. And like, if he doesn't know something, he'll blend it in there so perfectly. And it just is so not brandy, but brandy. And it's natural and it's cool. And I'm like, I can't do that. He's like, I'm not asking you to do that. Same shit I say to you. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to host because it's a lot of work to do, host and do all this other stuff. I'm experiencing what it's like.
On the other end. But
it's just funny to me because like I was like, I clinched up. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I can host. But so I kept saying but. So I feel like he never took me seriously. So I never hosted his show.
That was it.
Now, if you still want me,
all that, and you didn't even host it,
Jordan. If you still want me, I'll host it now.
And that but the same way I feel like that when I also do my own stuff. But that's also, like I said, that's a bit of vocal support that I'll be getting from my family. Like, I'll be having moments where I'm like, yo, you want me to DJ for this? Like, this event, you sure? I don't even know if I'm freaking out. Look, I chose you, right? Do this. You got this. I'm like, bro, I'll be doubting myself, but that support be coming through. It was my cousin's wedding. That's why I was saying it. I was thinking about it, and her brother came down. He lives in Atlanta. He also paints the field in Atlanta. So he hears the DJs that come in when the football games is going on and stuff. So I was DJing for my cousin's wedding, but he's the one who amped me up in the beginning. I'm like, all right, I got the support from him. I'm gonna go make it do what it do. I went out there. I thought I did. I didn't think I did too much. Like, I thought it was a little basic. Bro, we got done with that wedding. He was like, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, all right, like, I did it.
All right.
That was it. Okay, dog. I was like, I didn't think I was that. He was like, bro, I've heard a few DJs come through the stadium that you could probably do better than if you just keep, doing your stuff. And I'm like, that again, he was just throwing that support and confidence and whatnot my way to make me feel better, but also be like, bro, don't give up on that. Like, you got this, and I'm gonna support you every time you do something. And every time I post on my story, I see a like. It's a like. He always, if he see my turntables up there, I got a like from him. Any other time, I don't really care. But every time he see my turntables, he don't care if it says I'm practicing or I'm at a rehearsal or I'm just having fun in the house. I'm liking that because he like, I'm gonna remind you that this is something you good at. You got to keep it going, regardless of what anybody say.
I can relate to that too. I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like it's sometimes it's like when it's a family member, it's like, I think I overthink.
Because you got that mindset of, well, you my family.
Or, like you said, that imposter syndrome is you not actually believing what you're fully fucking capable of doing. You know what I mean? And then I've experienced it a couple of times because I feel like imposter syndrome is very important to touch on because it happens so regularly. And I feel like for me, it's like, it's also intellectual things. Because, a lot of people, because of my Instagram, they just see me as a model or a pretty face or whatever, right? But then when we get to talking, you know what I mean? And they see like the structure and the marketing strategy and all of this, then it's like, okay. But then when it comes to pricing, that's when that imposter syndrome pops in. Like, girl, can you really do this?
Exactly.
Like, can you charge them for this for what you've been telling them? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think that's why, even with me, like, I had to kind of walk myself out of it. That's why every time I make the Dean's List, I share it because I need to remind myself, like, girl, no, you're intelligent. Like, stop. You know what I mean? Because that's when it creeps up around that. I know for me, it's because there's such a heavy stereotype that we're uneducated, that, Black people, Black women, especially when people hear me loud, they just assume that I don't know shit. You know what I mean? When they see me with my kids, especially because a lot of people assume that I'm younger than what I am. You know what I mean? So they always feel like they want to teach me something. I'm like, baby, I knew that. I knew that plus the 3 things past that. Like, you know what I mean? I know some shit that you don't even know, And so sometimes I feel like that kind of eats away. And now it's further, like, now that I do have these platforms, now that I do know my power, I've overcome some versions of imposter syndrome, right? So now it's like when I'm in the room with other people, other powerhouses, that's when I'm like, well, damn, am I deep enough to be here? Like, is my energy power enough? You know what I mean? But the reality is we inspire each other. All of us inspire each other. We add fuel to one another. And I think that it's really just having that conversation with ourselves, being honest with ourselves and quieting the noise around us, quieting those doubts with the truth, right? Because you know that you're good with music, or else you wouldn't get hired for gigs. Like, you know what I mean? So I know that I am intuitive and powerful, or else people wouldn't open up to me and ask me for advice. You know what I mean? And then now I have psychology to back up what I'm saying on top of my experience, on top of my intuition. You know what I mean? So it's like we know these things. We just have to be honest with
You
ourselves
gotta
and
live
not.
in it. You gotta live in it.
Yes, yes, living it, thriving it, around, dance around. Let me see.
But yeah, we really do be in our own way a lot of times.
Yeah, we are. We are. That's the most famous quote right there. Look, you your own villain.
Yeah,
You the only one stopping you. Like, ain't nobody else in your way.
yeah,
You can be an unstoppable force out here. You can be a juggernaut. You just got to do it. Nobody else can take you down except for yourself.
except for Ricky in the comment section.
Oh,
and
my bad.
that, hey, and I think we spoke about it earlier though. I think it's also I think it also depends on the life you had too. I'm not saying I didn't get support a lot because I did. So I don't want any of my family, my parents, any of them.
If you're watching this, he still loves you.
I love you. But there were times in my life where I felt like I didn't get supported. Like I seen the rest of my cousins or siblings. And so like when I see people posting stuff, sharing stuff, whatever it is, even if it's something like, somebody was sharing their story, they made the Dean's List, head ass. But if you share that, and I know you, I'm literally, I probably ain't talked to you once in my life, and I don't even know. I'm still, hey, congratulations. Like that's something. I don't know why, but I'm like, I just feel like I feel like I gotta, because I didn't get it. I feel like I need to give it out because people need that support, and I know how it feels.
Right.
For example, I'm not saying I was the best, and I do love my cousins and my uncles. My uncle, but when I was like 18, 19, when I moved out to California, every boy in Merced either doing like 4 or 5 things, and I was rapping. So I thought I was, I thought I could do that, and I was rapping with my uncle and my cousin. My cousins actually, and everybody was just always talking about them, but nobody's ever said anything about me. And I was like, yo, that kind of sucked. And I was like, am I bad? And then like years later, I started rapping with my homeboy, and a lot of people that I don't know was just like, yo, you can rap. And I was like, I didn't think I could. I just got on here because my homeboy said hop on the song with me, and I just knew I could rhyme. That's about it. But like, it's just stuff like that kind of hit me, kind of traumatized me. But I took it and flipped it. I'm like, I'm gonna show support to others, even when my siblings come in with some small little stuff. Hey, yo, good job! Like, congratulations. I don't like. You just got to get that out sometimes. So it sucks. But and then you got those people who probably just never knew what support was, so that's why they don't support others. Like they don't know how that is or what that looked like or whatever it is. They just probably thought somebody would just, hey, congratulations, keep it going. Like I'm out of here, that's it. Like they didn't, so they probably don't even know what to do half the time when they see little shit like that. But you see, like every time you post something on Facebook, and mostly because Facebook's so damn annoying, so it got to notify me when you posting something. Like I really care. Like I don't care that she just posted a status 30 minutes ago. Like, why are you telling me she posted something a day ago today? Made no sense. But anyways, like you'll post something and I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it. If y'all post stuff about Ricky and whatever he got going on, I'll go right to I'll go from your story to his page, share it. Don't even know if it needed to be shared. I'm just sharing the shit. Like, because that's any publicity right there too. Like, that's you getting your name out there, you getting shared. That's just how I operate. Cause a lot of people don't like to support half the time. So I'm like, hey, at least I'm just letting people know you got a supporter out here.
Yes. You said something that made me think of something. What I've learned too is perception, right? People might see you and what you're doing, and it's just like with voting, right? Some people don't vote because they feel like their vote doesn't matter, right? It's like you
they
are
think you're doing well enough.
So they don't need to support you.
Exactly. Or that their support doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Or they're like, you know how you're like the guy who like helps everyone out and like he's good. He don't need us. We need him. You know what I mean? I feel like that happens a lot.
That's the thing too, for sure.
That person that be helping everybody out or helping all the time, you trust me, they are on empty. Help them back. Help them out. They ain't gonna ask.
I've learned. Listen, I speak for yourself, baby. I've learned to give from an overflow.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I don't be
but I'm just saying, I'm slowly learning that.
No,
but
I got what you're saying though.
Yeah, most people out there like don't ever think them people don't need help.
It's
because for one, they either too prideful or they just don't want to ask for it because they're so used to helping others. They don't want to bother anybody. We was just talking about this the other day. Like they don't want to bother nobody. Nah, help them. Help them.
Yeah.
Just help them.
The reality is people don't realize that you need help, that you need things too, because they see you and they see how you keep going, right? You're positive, or you found a way, or you learned a lesson in that storm and you applied it and you're moving on, right? But that don't mean you don't need support in some way, shape, or form. For me, as a person who people come to speak to, I don't say I don't have a lot of people I can lean on to vent to, but I can't vent to very many people. Like they end up venting to me. Like, you know what I mean? So then it's like, damn, who do I talk to? Right? Grateful I got y'all. Because I'd be like, damn, I need to talk to somebody about something. What do y'all get message shit? But before it felt like I'm the vault for everyone. Who's the vault for me? You know what I mean? Because people don't realize you need that person too. They say a therapist needs a therapist. Right? Yeah. Everyone needs help. It doesn't matter what level you're on. And sometimes because a person has been vulnerable with you, usually if a person's vulnerable with me, I'm vulnerable with them. So there's a certain level of closeness there. I would like to have that all in one space. But one thing that I've learned from experience, but also one thing I've learned from Ricky, is that you don't have to get it all in one space. Like we talked about that here on the podcast once, that you don't need an all in all. Like I don't need a friend that I can go to the movies with and go to the farmer's market and, you know what I mean, we can gossip and we can vent and we can, I don't need all of that in one person. I mean, like lightweight, that's kind of what my man is for, to some degree, you know what I mean? But I just feel like it's okay to compartmentalize things, but there is also a lot of people don't realize that the strong people need people too. They ain't nobody's too strong. Everybody needs somebody. And I think that that's why we don't feel as supported as other people, because support shows up differently for us. They're not vocal because they feel like we got it. So their beliefs are that they are supported instead of them realizing like, oh, let me go let him know he's doing a good job. Instead, they're like, he know he doing a good job. He out here killing it. He been killing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, we said it earlier too, it don't matter if I'm getting it from them. I'm trying to get it from you. Like it's way more important if I get it from you. But it's an uphill battle for sure for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I also think that to some degree, it takes letting people know how important they are to you so that they know that their voice matters. Because again, some people just don't know their voice matters to you. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, or for however they view you, you know what I mean? Some people may have you on a pedestal and they don't realize how impactful their voice is,
Yeah. I know people, honestly, I've run into situations where one, you try to explain like what they could be doing for you, and then they take it as, oh, damn, these are all the times I let them down. Then that's where their mind goes with it. And two, but something else you said about, it'll come back to me. But yeah, basically, it's a fine line. Like if that comes up late in the game, you've been doing this for 8 years and you're just not saying that, that's 8 years of failure, basically.
Yeah. The other thing is they might perceive it as you being ungrateful.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say again. About like people were just assuming you got it. I know I don't want to think. I know for a fact that a lot of instances it could be just like something that naturally internally happens, but envy comes out of that. Like they think you're just killing it, and they don't know. Or yeah, it goes back to the emotional intelligence. They don't know why they're feeling this way, but it's envy going in them for no reason. And little do you know, I want us all to win together. Like this is for us.
Yes.
Like I want you to win so I can win. We can have a whole circle of winners. But they
Mhm.
don't feel that way, so they fall back subconsciously
Yep.
because they're getting burned by your light. It's like, no, I made this platform for us to stand in the light together. But
The
those
other
are tough conversations to have one on
Yeah.
one for real.
Yeah. But it's also conversations people need to have with themselves. The reality is people run away from the feelings of envy and jealousy because one, those are feelings that are shitted on because people don't know how to handle those feelings. But two, people don't understand them. If
Yeah,
you feel envious because someone has something that you want, that's a conversation you can have with yourself. Well, why is it bothering me? And why is it bothering me that this person close to me has it? Is it what, what's happening for them, or is it that it's not happening for me, or is that it's happening without me? You know what I mean?
right.
Those are conversations that people need to have with themselves. When I'm envious, it's usually because people are creating things I want to create, but I don't have the funds to create it, right?
I've been there.
But it's also like, but girl, you could do other stuff. You've been doing other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like having that honest conversation with yourself. Why are you envious? Why aren't you creating? Because there are things you can create without having that money. Why are you upset that they just got this, promotion or whatever? What are you doing to even put yourself out there to get a promotion? Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I feel like for me, it becomes an opportunity for self growth. What can I be doing to obtain this? Because the reality is, anytime I'm envious or jealous, I still want those people to win, but I want to win too. Like, you know
Now
what
I'm
I mean?
motivated. Exactly.
Um,
Now I'm
or,
motivated. That's it.
mhm, or when it comes to jealousy, sometimes it's a personality trait that they are thriving in and I've suppressed. And I'm like, damn, I want to be funny too. I know
We
I'm
wish you
funny,
were
but I
too,
don't know how to
bro.
share that with the world. What you say?
Go ahead, you can finish.
I'm done
Nothing,
now. You
nothing, dog, nothing.
interrupted. No, I'm just
You were
Oh,
it was,
no, but
yeah.
you.
I feel like people have to check that. Envy and jealousy, just like every feeling, they're a message for you to get to know yourself on a deeper level and see what's really happening. You know what I mean? Like I said, for me, it's usually like, if I see someone, there's this girl, and I love her. Every time I engage with her, she's awesome. And and she kills it. Like she does these very powerful photo shoots and I'd be like, damn, but it's because she's effortless. Like she can teach, she can coach, she can, you know what I mean? I want to work my way up to that level. I'm not there yet. So I always remind myself, well, what are you doing to get there? You know what I mean? So I just use those as messages. Everyone's not gonna do that. And that's when, like you said, they fall back. Like, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it builds into some form of resentment and shit. And then next thing you know, they hating you and you don't know why.
Now we can only be friends when I'm dusty and ashy is the weakest shit in the world. Like, bro, like I'm trying all my might to win, and I'm sharing this information with you, and I'm explaining this to you. We're having these conversations, so you could do the same. I see you shining, I'm trying to shine in my
Yep.
lane. We can all keep winning, but it's like, no,
That's where that
I don't
whole
like how you
come with
doing
it.
it.
Some people don't like that you got there the way you did it or whatever, and they just trying to
Exactly. I
break
don't
it
like how
down.
you going about it. I don't like how easy it is. I don't like that.
And
So
that's
what?
why
It's
some
like,
people
bitch,
just
where
be
is it
watching.
easy? Because it's not.
And that's why some
It's
people
not.
just be watching instead of supporting, because now they just want to see you fail. They just want to see you fall right back to
Yeah.
the bottom or be exactly where they at.
It's almost never easy. You're doing something every day to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as simple as people make it seem. It's simple to them because they're not in there with you. They're not in the trenches with you. Come in the trenches,
Right.
you can see how it really is, how it goes down over here on the Carter Love Network. No, just kidding. Oh my gosh. So the final question. is how do you handle relationships when you feel like you're being watched more than supported?
I just make mental notes, honestly. And if it becomes a worse pattern and I notice other things and like sabotage eventually, then I know for sure. But if it's just a surface level, I give you the benefit of the doubt and then we'll take it at that. But like I said, more things coming, I feel like you're actively trying to sabotage me with your energy and lack of effort and lack of support. And that's a whole issue for me. And now I might not express it at that point, but I'm definitely, if anything comes up where the dialogue follows, it's definitely going to be a talking point for sure. Because now, what is this? Like, this ain't what it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Mm. I feel like I didn't know how to voice it.
I was
I
gonna
feel
say the
like
same thing, like especially because again, I'm one of those people who wasn't really used to support. So it's like, I mean, again, I got it from the family like that, but I didn't get it from certain people. So it's just like, I don't know. I think I just throw it under the rug, to be honest.
yeah, for me, I was getting support, but I didn't understand why it wasn't enough, right? Like I had a partner who was supporting financial, like sometimes like when I would have my when I would do my custom shirts, for example, I would need to order some stuff from Amazon real quick or whatever, and they would support me by, purchasing that for me or whatever. Um, but I felt I didn't feel support. You know what I mean? Because I can budget some shit out, make sure I have my supplies. You know what I mean? I wanted a different kind of support, but I didn't know how to name it. I didn't know what I needed. So I couldn't voice that I didn't feel supported. There was also like me just doing stuff, me getting clients, and I just felt like I was in it by myself, even though I had a partner. You know what I mean? Um, and I didn't understand that either. And I feel like because I couldn't understand it, because I couldn't put it in words, I couldn't voice it. But I also, at that time in my life, I had a really bad habit of making excuses for people. So I'd be like, oh, well, they're doing this, they're doing that. But they don't let me start seeing you support somebody else the way I need you to support me. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So
Man.
you had it in you all along. It's that you weren't willing. It's not that you weren't capable. It's that you weren't willing to support me the way I need to be supported. And I feel like, in that connection, things were already going downhill. It didn't even make sense to voice it because we was fighting about other stuff. But I feel like today, how would I handle that in a relationship today? I would acknowledge that. Even if I don't have the words, I know that I can say I don't know exactly what I need, but I do know that I don't feel supported. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what I've learned is I'm not going to figure it out by myself. I might not even figure it out with my therapist because it needs to be a conversation between me and that individual. And then we'll be able to see each other's perspectives, but also my intuition might start speaking because I'm in the midst of it with that person. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's why you feel this way. Or that's why you might have that energy from them because they have this thing going. Like, you know what I mean? So I'll gain greater clarity. So for me, what I'm learning is just talk about it. Like, just be vocal. It may be hard because it's uncomfortable to have those conversations, to be like, you're not doing what I need you to do, but
And a lot of those situations are like, oh, well, you should have. Like, it's literally, like you said, the conversation will clear it right up, but it's just assumptions.
Yep. I agree 100%. So I think that just communicating is going to be the best thing, but also the way you communicate. I do use eye language. I know some people think it's corny, but I use eye language, and I try not to say that a person made me feel anything, because reality is the actions may have brought up a feeling, but they didn't make you feel shit. You chose to feel that way after a while. So eye language is, I feel like when I do these events, I'm not getting as much support from you as I feel like I should, right? Instead of you don't support me as much as you should be supporting me when I do my events. Because you're going to get a defensive response every time. But when you bring it back onto you, it's less, people are less likely to be defensive. You know what I mean? Because it can be very offensive. It can be very accusatory, especially if a person has in their mind has been supporting you. Like, bitch, I just took you to you know what I mean? So that's I try to use eye language. I try to, like, I'm really animated and loud right now, but I try to be very like calm. And even like because y'all know me, I'm an emotional being, okay? So even when I feel those emotions rise, I try to breathe and take my time and really respond instead of react in those conversations so that we can actually get somewhere, because
Did you learn that in therapy, the eye thing?
no, actually learned that. Where did I learn? I think I learned it in my psychology class, like one of my first psychology classes.
I learned it in therapy.
Yeah, I learned it in one of my first psychology classes. So like probably like 2013.
Okay. Okay, it paid. That's why
y'all, I'm learning shit. I'm gonna be a therapist. Woo.
Dean list head ass. That's why right there. That's why, y'all. That's what's up. Okay. Yeah, no, that is a helpful way of communicating.
There's also that whole, what is it called? Compliment sandwich. I don't like the compliment sandwich. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The compliment sandwich is, I see how you've been rocking with me. But I would like it if you do this, this, and this. And then at the end, you throw in another compliment. I don't like it. Me personally, I want you to be direct. I don't want to be buttered up. That's what I feel like. I feel like you're buttering me up just to tell me some hard news. Baby, just give it to me.
My ears aren't even trained to hear the compliments no more. It's like, okay, I know what's coming. Like,
something bad coming.
Yeah.
100%. Rip the Band-Aid off.
I'll give you the look just like this. Y'all seen it last week. Because Callie was giving me the compliments about my driving. And then he slid in there how I went off on him because I didn't want him to back up my car.
we knew what that was about to land.
I knew it was coming. I don't like the compliment sandwich. I do my best not to use it, even though some people are very receiving to it. It feels fake to me.
I don't like using it. I've talked to a few of my friends when I'm at work, and they be like, "Oh, when you talk to your employees, do you use the compliment, the compliment sandwich method?" I was, hell no. I think I just make a goddamn what they call a protein burger. Like, you about to get all the bad shit right now, man. And then it's a protein burger's all right. You missing some stuff. I'm missing the good compliments in the beginning because I'm here to talk about where you messing up at. Like, but I'm also gonna tell you, but you do this, and I appreciate you. Keep up the good work.
Keep doing that.
Keep doing that. Right. But also
keep doing that shit. Don't stop doing that shit.
But also,
we got this to talk about right now.
But also, work on this, please, because this is like your main thing. This is your main goal. This is what you're hired for, et cetera, et cetera. Because like you said, sometimes, but I also do got to use it because it depends on who I'm talking to. Like,
some people are more.
Some people can't.
Some people can't take that hard truth. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, give it to me direct every time. I get so impatient, but also you, like he said, know your audience. You also have that. Your audience also needs to know you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna tease Callie. He's not here. He'll watch it later on. He is the compliment sandwich guy, but he's not giving one compliment. He's giving you a whole.
He got a whole soliloquy
paragraph. Then he gives you the bad stuff real quick, but then he's like, "But like I said, you're a powerful woman." Right? I don't like it. Sometimes, depending upon what it is, depending upon the energy. Because if
You
the
Teddy
energy is a certain
Pendergrass.
way, if I know it's not a joke and it's something serious, I'll let him do his whole compliment sandwich thing. If it's not, I'd be like, just get to the point. Okay, I know who you are and you know who I am. So let's honor that. Get straight to the point when you talking to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Even my kids know now. Oh, okay. Even my kids know, because my kids like to be like, Mom, can I ask you a question? Just ask the question. But my kids will go, oh, I'm gonna get straight to the point because I know you don't like waiting. I'm like, yes, absolutely. Get straight to the point when you're talking to me, baby. So I love that they're knowing that, but like I said, it is important to know your audience. So I don't, like I said, I still don't do compliment sandwich. I will lower my tone. I will talk slower because I do talk really fast. If it calls for it, I will do some sort of physical contact. Um, but I will still be direct. I also feel like watering down a message takes away from a message. And sometimes we
Yeah.
are meant to help a person grow. So that means they need that message direct. You know what I mean? So like I do want to know my audience, but I also want my audience to know who the fuck I am. But I also my biggest thing is too, because I used to be afraid about being direct. My biggest thing is, if you know me, you know I mean no malice. Like, I'm not gonna say something to cut you. If I'm saying anything, it's to build you up, no matter what is being said. And if a person doesn't know that about me and they take what I say the wrong way, then that's their fault, not mine. Because reality is, those are the people who are gonna get the message like a year or two later, maybe a few months later. It's gonna hit them. It's like, that's what the shade was talking about. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's eye language and compliment sandwich. Those are like two forms of communicating to have your message be more received. Yeah. Would you say?
I was on mute. I was saying those are good skills for sure. Everybody
Yeah,
can definitely use those.
for sure, 100%. Little, social cues to help us get by, so we can have some successful conversations. I'm also, one of the other things I've been not trying to, but really unlearning is that fear of those difficult conversations, fear of the response and rejection from others. Because, like you said before, like those having those conversations tend to usually bring you some sort of growth, right? Um, and just like with like pruning flowers or even trimming your hair, even if you lose that individual, there's still going to be some form of growth. And so I've learned to think of it like this. My pastor, my childhood pastor used to say that people have no heaven or hell to put you in. And the way I take that now is that people, they don't have any power over my level of success. What if a job turns me down, or I try to work with this business and they don't hire me or whatever, right? They don't get to determine what my success is going to look like in the long run. Same thing with individuals. If something doesn't work out with like a business partner or a friend, or I'm dating someone, it's not the end of the world. Like, you know what I mean? There's still other people I can connect with in the future, right? There's a lesson there that I may have learned to grow. So I'm learning to not get so worked up about what could happen, what could go wrong when you have these conversations, and really just embracing what could go right or how it's going to build me up. Because no matter what, whether it goes left or right, I'm going to be built up, because I'm always going to learn and grow from whatever, interaction I have with an individual. And I think a lot of us get fearful of how conversations can play out, how they're going to be perceived, or how the other person's going to react or respond or whatever. And those are things we have no control over. And those are things, so we have to release trying to control all of that.
But even looking at those situations, like you don't know if they're gonna go left or right after the effects are gonna be. Shit already went left is why you're feeling that way and why you're needing to have that conversation. So
Absolutely.
literally get out of your way and try to do what you can to correct it. And if it's not
Absolutely.
correctable, quicker.
Yeah. And also, I think that's a powerful point, is that what you're feeling is important. So, you know what I mean? It is already, things have already changed. And I also feel like one of the greatest things I've learned is I'm not quick to, but and usually in romantic relationships, I am kind of, because I've been more protective over myself, I am quick to point the finger. But when I have those conversations and I voice them out loud to the individual, I'm like, oh shit, girl, that's some like residue from your unhealing. You know what I mean? Like, you need to tighten that shit up. You learn so much from having a conversation with someone other than yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can journal about it. You can vent to a friend about it. A friend is going to be biased most of the time. But also, even if they're not biased, they only have one side of the story. You have to communicate with the person who is encouraging those feelings. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I just think it's important. I think people forget how important it is to actually communicate with the person that the feelings are centered around to some degree.
That's definitely true. They know, like you said, nobody else knows. It's three sides to every story, but they know they're in it.
Yeah. And they may not even see your point. Like, without you telling them, they may not even see it. Like, we all really think to some degree in our own, we all have our own reality. So you may not even, especially like when we all have different backgrounds and traumas and so our processing, the lenses that we're looking through are different. You know what I mean? For a long time, I looked through a trauma lens. So, I felt like everyone was out to get me. You know what I mean? That clears up as you heal, but it ain't completely gone. So, like, to some degree, you still might wonder. So those conversations like really help with that a lot.
Reassurance definitely goes a long way. Like you said, nothing. If you don't learn from experience, then it's wasting time anyway in your own way.
Yeah. Yeah. And we only know what we think we know. Like, you know what I mean? We only know so much. And so there's so much power in just communicating with the people that you're connected to and the people that you want to be more deeply connected to. Especially because sometimes we be wasting our time.
All right,
And we don't
getting to
realize,
the end ain't always a bad thing. Like, yeah, you know what? This ain't serving neither one of us.
yeah. And we don't even realize it because we didn't have the conversation. Or we brushed off something that we felt because we didn't want to have a conversation. Oh, it's just a minor thing. Is it though? Is it really, darling? Is it really?
Sometimes people tell themselves it's a minor thing, so just so they can make it easier for themselves to keep going, especially if it's something they don't want to do.
Yeah. I feel like they'd rather suffer than have that conversation. And you know what I always remind myself is, like, I will put off a conversation and then I have the conversation and it don't be taking as long as I thought it was gonna take. Okay. And I always have so much more clarity afterwards. Like, sometimes it may not even be the response that I was hoping for, but there's just so much clarity and I find so much peace in that clarity that I don't even give a fuck that it wasn't what I wanted. You know what I mean? And I try to remember that when I have to have conversations with people, because I would rather have that than to be sitting there suffering, going on and on in my mind, trying to figure out the answers when there's somebody who can fucking give me the answer right there. Right there.
We definitely know. We know half the time how to get to the solution. If we don't know the solution, we know how to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just don't want to get to it though. Motherfuckers be procrastinating or making every excuse.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
Say
say
that.
ignorance is bliss.
it's for me, it's
Man,
like if I'm not ready for something to end, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have the conversation because now I'm gonna have to adapt to it ending. But then, like, intuition will be like, okay, so you would rather, you know what I mean? At this point, you're now abusing yourself. You would rather go
yeah,
through this, and this because you're not ready for this to end. If it's time for it to end, baby, let it go.
I learned that the hard way when I was living in Frisco. Um,
Yeah,
and before I left, me and my ex had broke up, but we were still like living with each other for a year.
yeah,
Um, and a piece of me, I think I knew it was over, but there was another piece of me that was like, I cannot let this go. And like, I hurt myself staying as long as I
yeah,
did. It was bad. Like, and not trying to throw no shade towards her. It was just real bad. I like, I myself, I hurt myself at that point. So whatever happened after that, it's like, bro, this all could have been avoided.
yeah,
You would have just let things go. If it would have ended, you just would have went to the end, bro. Just let it happen.
What's
yeah.
her name?
You think I'm about to do that?
Uh, just checking.
She who must not be named.
Just checking. Text it to me. No, I'm just
Nah,
kidding.
it ended on good terms. No lie. Like at the end, I mean, the way it went out was not not great at all. But I'm saying, like throughout that time, I made it more worse for myself because
Yeah.
I didn't want to accept reality. I didn't want to accept that it's hey, buddy, it is over. It is over.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta accept that.
yeah. I
You
can
gotta
agree
you
with
gotta
that.
accept that end. You gotta get to that end goal sometimes, even if it was fun while it lasted or whatever it was, or you was enjoying this time, do whatever. Shoot, I still kind of do it at work. Like I
Yeah,
got moments where I'm like, damn, I really don't want to go and like I always got a down unit. And I'm like, damn, I really don't want this down unit to be fixed. Cause if it get fixed, now I ain't got a unit to chill in. Cause all they're gonna be like, is that unit still down? Like, but sometimes you gotta get out there and do what you gotta do. Cause you never know. You look, if I fixed that unit faster, that probably would have got me some type of recognition around here. Like, hey, you've been on your stuff, blah, blah, blah. Or if I ended that relationship faster, probably would have found somebody a lot better, a lot faster. Like it's a lot of stuff. You never
yeah,
just because you don't want it to end, just because it's coming to an end, don't mean it's bad.
yeah.
Don't always mean it's bad.
I
Yeah, it's
think
the fear, fear of
you're,
the unknown.
yeah, for sure. I feel like sometimes we get caught up on time and titles, right? Like, oh, that's been my girlfriend for 3 years. Like, how could I just walk away? Like, you know what I mean? And that comfortability and what's on the outside. You know what I mean? If you've been with a person for 3 years, you've been this person for 3 years, right? But outside of them, you can be so much more to some degree, right? If it's ending, there's some walls that you put up to protect your relationship that can now come down. I think we're also like afraid of that change. For me, it's more so, what's my life going to be like without this person? I've gotten used to them being a part of my daily, my routine, whatever. You know what I mean? A lot of times I'm not ready for the shift, but that's also because I'm assuming the shift is going to be negative. So that's when those like, I'm not ready to have the conversation. But I feel like, kind of to Ricky's point, if you're feeling it, it's necessary. And I think that really understanding how important you are and what you feel is important, because that's when you need to speak up about it. Like, you know what I mean? I do think that timing is a thing and all the things, but I know for me personally, if I let too much time go by, I'm gonna end up healing and I'm gonna forget, or I'm gonna justify it, or I'm gonna understand where they're coming from and I won't say nothing. But I'm learning that I can understand where a person is coming from and still be like, hey, like what you said or what you did, I wasn't feeling that. Or it made me, or I felt a way after this happened. What was your intention behind it? You know what I mean? Um, it's just, if you feel it, it's important, whether you think you're overthinking or you're over exaggerating or whatever. one of the things that I feel like was instilled in me is that what is it? Not dramatic. It's that I think it's something along those lines of being overly shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like oh, you're like overly sensitive or overly this, overly that, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, but I felt what I felt. You know what I mean? So like you don't gotta be like, oh, you're over, you know what I mean? So I feel like just even having those conversations and seeing how a person responds that's gonna tell you a lot. Like there's so much that you can learn from them and yourself in those conversations. And I feel like that's what I've learned to kind of thrive off of and what I've learned to push me to have the conversation instead of getting so worked up about what could happen if I have the negative things that could happen if I have the conversation.
Yeah, you definitely owe it to everybody. Like it's
Hmm.
not working. Something is broken. We're in a space that's muddied and stupid anyway. Like let's just figure out the
Yep.
air.
Yep. Yep. That's powerful. You owe it to everyone. Cuz it's not even just about you. Like sometimes sometimes people check us, sometimes we have to check people. Like they may be doing some shit that they don't even realize they're doing cuz they've done it so many times and nobody's checked them on it. You know what I mean? So now you're not only stunting your own growth, but you're stunting the growth of somebody that you most likely care about, you know? Or maybe you don't care about them to as much as you want or they want you to or whatever, but it's still important that you share that message with them. Growth is
Mm.
important for everybody. We're expanding all year long. Carnival Up Network, where you come to expand. No, I'm just
When
kidding.
it comes to
I
expand.
thought we got whoa, freaky ass frogs. Uh, nah, I thought we got rid of that word, but I guess not. I think it's still
It's the word of
around.
the year. What do you
It is. It
mean?
is the word of the year. I
What
forgot
do
it
you
is the
mean,
word of the year.
bro? It's
My
the
bad.
word of the
My bad.
year. Now I'm gonna sing you that every morning. Expand. I'm gonna make a gift. Expand.
I'm
Expand.
weak.
Expand.
I'm weak.
What is this shit? Expand. That's hilarious.
So I have another screen up and it shows the delay of everything. It's the actual YouTube version. It's
Yeah.
funny seeing it happen and then 10 seconds later the hand
Yeah.
movements and everything.
That's how it is for me. I usually always have the screen up just to make sure there's no. But also, if you have the screen up, you can see when people are hitting the emojis. So if they
Yeah,
hit like the
exactly.
100 or the laugh and all that, you can see all that stuff pop up.
Yeah, the emojis. We got them reset though. But yeah, honestly, I gotta figure something out because my laptop is just. As soon as we gave it praises the other day, it's been downhill from there. So I gotta figure out a permanent setup for sure.
So no praises to your devices,
No praises, just let it be. We all know what's going on. Let it be.
right? We just gonna do this.
Like the uncle at the cookout. Okay, okay,
Nephew,
nephew.
nephew, I see you.
For real.
Oh my god. Well, listen. At the rate this show is going, there's gonna be laptops for everyone. MacBook. You get a MacBook. You get a MacBook. All the co-hosts get a MacBook. No, I'm just kidding.
I do need to get me a new MacBook.
I don't I don't believe in MacBooks.
Whatever you want. Whatever you like, I do for you. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll
But
talk about it backstage.
what was that? What you say?
Backstage.
Backstage.
Yeah, we'll talk about the details of the contracts.
He
The
said he
details of the
said he ain't a
contract.
MacBook person.
He said no MacBook. I said absolutely no MacBooks. Let's get that straight. I'll
And
talk
bold and bold.
in bold. No MacBooks for me, darling. All right, my loves. Do either of you have anything you would like to add before we close out?
We covered some good topics here. Actually, I feel like this is a good, generally, I feel like we start with a topic and we kind of just have several segments of different topics, but this is a good show of kind of the main topic, and it was good dialogue for sure.
I think it's also because we're all sober. So
Well, it's
there's,
also because
Oh,
that's the
well.
structure of the show. Like
there's
that's
that.
what I mean. Before, like I said, I was taking it seriously, but I also was allowing it to be whatever it is. But I feel like we can allow it to be whatever it is, but still have structure. And so um generally that's how it's gonna go. Like you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
This is how
the prep questions definitely helped. So yeah, that definitely, I
yeah,
think that was the key part. 'Cause
yeah,
that was a lot of questions and a lot of meat on the bone for with them questions.
yeah. So because I want each episode to have a title and a description. And if we bounce around all these different topics, we can't do that. People don't know, they're not gonna know what they're clicking on.
Right.
um, so we have to, we have to have some sort of theme. Um, we can still be our personalities and wild out and have our little sidebars in the comments and all the things, but just a little teensy bit of structure,
All right. Next question.
Moving
Moving right along.
right along. That was funny. Keep that laughter. Now, the next question is put all your jokes in the comment section. No, I'm just kidding. Did you have anything you want to add, Jaw, before we lead to our affirmations?
Uh, nah. Like he said, I think this was out of all the topics, because like you said, we was going to out of all the topics you sent. I think this was a pretty good. It was a pretty good choice. It was a pretty good topic, especially with a lot that we know a lot of um people who are small business owners and stuff like that, and people who do whatever art it is, whatever that is. So
It's relevant information.
Yeah, whoever also peeps this, the ones that's out there feeling like you're not no one's supporting you. Look, as long as you supporting you, that's all you need, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be real with you, and then whoever else is in your corner, just make sure you show them some appreciation. And
it definitely starts with you. If you don't believe in you, how do you expect anybody else to believe?
Yeah, exactly. Because I've seen a lot of people who didn't even have support. Nobody believed in them, but they believed in themselves. They supported themselves, and they kept it pushing. It's just the others coming in and being like, "Oh shit, let me support you." Well, thank you
to the party.
Yeah. But people will also be more drawn to you. The more you support and believe in yourself, they're gonna be like, damn, like, it's like that delusion that you have to have, or that self-belief that you have to have, and more people will just be drawn to you. That's how you find your people, instead of, trying to be someone else to get support. Just support yourself, that same energy, supporting yourself,
Yeah.
Yep. So before we get to the affirmations, I would like for both of you guys to put your IGs in the comment section. I don't care if you put all of them. I don't care if you put one of them. If there's one you want to shine more than the other today.
A two limit for you. Don't put all of yours.
Me.
Two is the limit.
Me. Excuse me. This is the Carter Law.
Two is the limit. We got somewhere to be.
Like,
I
agree.
I'm just kidding. My today's episode was brought to you by the Shea Carter Events, so that's the Instagram you can go follow. But yeah, so that's the spotlight. So that's where we're at. You know what I'm saying? But also, those of you who are watching, feel free to drop your if you're watching now, if you're watching the replay, if you're watching now, your IG will pop up on the video if you put it in the comment section. If you're watching the replay, put it in the comments and I will go follow you on the page that I use the most, the Shea Carter Events.
I realize if you try to put like Instagram or so it worked if you put IG.
It worked for me.
I put Insta and it literally was just like the comment failed to post.
It might do it if you were you doing it on YouTube or were you doing it in
here? So I put my name here, but when I put Callie J and I just put Insta right after it, it literally said failed to post. And it did this last time. I think every time I just mentioned
it also could be because my parentheses is touching the G. It's not space. Like there's like a little weird little shit that they be So this is the first Instagram you can follow if you haven't followed it already. It is Homes by Ray. Go ahead and if you need a screenshot it, go ahead and screenshot whatever you need to do, baby. Okay, just go follow.
Appreciate that.
All right, this is the next
this
Instagram
is support
to go follow is the Charcuterie Bar. Like you guys, isn't that name so clever? I'm just like, I don't have my nails anymore, but it made a sound before, but it doesn't anymore.
It's the thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts, you know, the action, the amplification. All right, the next Instagram you're gonna want to go follow for all your laughs and entertainment. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Is
I really be acting a fool on there.
I clicked mine. Sorry. Is Callie J 17? Go ahead and follow that one. The King Ja that's Instagram?
Nah, that one's TikTok.
I thought so. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
So this is the next Instagram you're gonna want to go follow is Callie J 17.
Don't get me confused with the other Callie.
Don't get it. Don't get it.
Two different Callies. Two different Callies.
Okay. All right, and then this is my Deshae Carter events Instagram. Go ahead and follow that one for all the upcoming events. Any events that
Sorry, I'm only laughing because he said, post one, don't post all. I just want to let y'all know if you take events out of there and just swap the name around like 3 or 4 times, you'll find the rest of them because they all just the name.
They're all there. There's
a lot of them. Just the words are swapped around. That's all it is. So if you get lost, look up Deshae Carter.
That's not true.
It's Deshae Carter Love.
There's Carter Love Network. There's Carter Love.
You just gotta swap them around, throw a love in there. I bet money you'll find her.
Removing this and moving that.
Yeah, you'll find her. They all the same everywhere.
But the Deshae Carter events page is where you'll find events of past guests, just other people in the community I support, but also my events that I host and coordinate. So that is the Deshae Carter events page. Basically, because this upcoming event, the networking bar, I will be having more of these. And the plan is that they will all be in Sacramento. So if you are in a city and you want me to come do an event there, message me, let me know or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that is the next Instagram to follow. The last one we're going to show, because y'all didn't put y'all's in the comment section. So this is the TikTok you're going to want to go follow, which is King Ja 17. Go ahead and follow that TikTok. What's funny? What's funny is this is supposed to happen at the end of every show, but it's great that we started it at the end of a support episode. But it's been in the script since January 30th.
It is irony.
Hey, look,
it's
happened.
Alignment. It's alignment.
It showed up at the right time.
See?
This part of the script showed up just like Jesus. May not be there when you want it, but it's gonna be there right on time. Don't worry about it.
Right on time, darling.
There.
So go ahead and follow that TikTok. And then, like I said, make sure you guys put your socials in the comment section if you're watching the replay, because we want to follow you. Okay. Also, I'm going to start being more interactive on the talk show's Instagram. And so those of you who put yours in the comment section, you'll become a close friend. When you become a close friend, then we can, you'll be notified before other people about different things we got going on. So yeah, go ahead and put your socials in the comment section. My gosh, I don't know why that was hard for me to say. All right. Who wants to start off with their affirmation or quote?
All right, I guess I'll go. My first, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Philippians 4:13. Don't forget it. And then also just remember to always be yourself. Don't change up. Stay true to who you are, because it's you the only one that can bring the best out of you. You're the only one stopping you. So be yourself. Always remain yourself. Don't change for nobody.
That's it. I want to just end with today. Give grace first and foremost. We never know what people are going through. We never know what their mindset is. We can't really hear their silence, so just give grace. We never know kind of what the motivation behind that is, and practice what you preach. Try to stand on your morals. Try to keep everything that you do for a reason and for a productive purpose.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, my loves. Before we end, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that little bell to be notified every time we post a video here on the Car Love Network if you haven't already. As always, remember that you are worthy, worthy always. You are worthy of being seen for who you are. You are worthy of being supported. You are worthy of being vocal about the support that you need. You are worthy of being teachable so that you can show up for your loved ones in the way that they need to be shown up for. You are worthy of not only giving others grace, but giving yourself grace as well, being merciful with yourself and showing up for yourself the way you expect others to show up for you. Most importantly, you are worthy of unconditional self-care and unconditional self-love. Until next time, my loves. Bye-bye.